Boys in the Berg, hosted by Chris, JJ, and Andrew Speranza. Welcome to Boys in the Berg, the podcast all about Pittsburgh. My name is Chris Speranza. With me is Drew and JJ.
Hi.
So we're going with Drew today.
I have you in my phone as Drew.
You have me in your phone as Drew? You've called me Andy your entire life.
I know, but I have it in my phone as Drew. I don't know why. Other than that, let's get back. Let's get back. I need to say my joke. Bob nutting. That's all.
Oh, God.
Because today's topic is going to be about Seven Springs, which is one of the things that Bob Nutting owns.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone understood that. Maybe some people didn't, like JJ.
What does it mean?
Oh, what's that from again? That's from
There's no roof on the ceiling. There's no roof on the ceiling.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. There's no roof.
What does it mean?
All right. So, last week we ended up talking about
Penguins game day.
Going to Pittsburgh Penguins games. Anyone hear anything back from anyone? Like, anyone think, take any good advice from it? Or anyone parking on my Pride Street now?
Jesus.
My coworker said, wow, your brother Chris is really bad at directions.
Oh, there are two things I need to say about last week's episode for people who were listening. And I tried tagging Mark Madden, and he did not respond. He was too busy shitting on the Steelers offense for punting 7 times in the first half and getting like 46 yards. Okay, I messed up. I said in the back there was a fire extinguisher. I meant fire hydrant. I don't know why I get those two mixed up, but it was fire hydrant.
Did you really take the time out of this episode to clarify something you said a week ago?
I don't know. Eliza
shut
seems
your
to
dog
think
up.
All right, I'll talk about let me say my next mistake. If she keeps barking, I'll put myself on mute for a second. The other thing I said. Okay, I'm putting it on mute. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead and talk of yourselves about Seven Springs.
Andy, how excited are you to talk about Seven Springs today, buddy?
Oh, I am very excited. Yeah, we might as well get right into it here. Seven Springs
you were
is
just
really
there,
cool.
weren't you?
I was. Today's Thursday. I was over there the past weekend, and Seven Springs is so cool. For people who don't know, even though it's a big Pittsburgh thing, but for people who don't know, Seven Springs is a ski resort, snowboarding resort. Take your skis up there, snowboard, whatever. Really cool place. And you know what? I have only just been getting into that place 2 years ago for snowboarding purposes. Obviously, I mean, there's so much to do up there. In the winter, in the summertime, all that stuff. I think we've decided that we're going to split this episode into 2 segments here, and we're going to cover We're going to cover the winter stuff, and then we're going to cover the summer stuff as well. But yeah, I mean, the main point of Seven Springs is, like I said, it's a snowboarding and skiing resort, and really, really enjoyable up there. I mean, have you guys been up there recently?
So, I don't like snowboarding.
Wow.
And I knew this was going to transition into this story.
All right, we could probably wrap up this episode right now then.
No, I want to hear the story about how Chris... Okay. Well, I'll let him tell it.
Okay. First of all, is there a difference between getting a rental snowboard and having your own snowboard? Is it kind of like with ice skates? Like snowboards, some snowboards are better if you own it yourself?
Yeah,
I thought you were actually asking what the difference is between that. I was about to give you a smart ass answer you're renting one and you're buying the other.
Yeah, and before I continue, the other mistake I made was I called it White Rhino, the strip club that Mark Mann talks about. It's called Spearmint Rhino.
That's fantastic. Can we move on to this episode?
It was called Spearmint Rhino. But we should do an episode on Spearmint Rhino. All of us should go to Spearmint Rhino.
That is a negative Ghost Rider. I enjoy living.
Okay, so back onto this. So yes, when I went snowboarding for the first time, it was in a place in Monroeville called Boyce Park. and I just could not get this. I didn't know how to do it. I kept falling. And as JJ and I discussed, when we get frustrated, we used to get angry as children. So I would keep falling and keep falling. And guess what? Punching snow doesn't do anything because your fist just goes right through. And then I fell again. And then I went to punch the snow, and it was ice. I punched the ice. So what do I do now? If I ever have to go back to a snowboarding place, I go to the lodge and I.
Oh, that was actually perfect.
I get myself a nice cold beer and I just sit next to the fireplace. But no, I haven't any fond memories of Seven Springs.
And just so everyone knows, and I'm sure you guys could attest to this, Boys Park is like the slower stepchild that not stepchild, like, it's just not a good place. It tries to be Seven Springs, but it is just like ice every single year. It just does not get cold enough.
Here's the thing. Okay, you're definitely right.
I was not done yet.
That ice hurts my knuckles.
Can I finish? Can I finish, please? Can I finish?
Yes, you could definitely. I wanted to add to that, but yes, you could definitely finish.
Okay, I'm finished.
I hate you so much. I knew right as I was ending that sentence, I knew you were going to say that. Oh God, Joseph. All right. Well, you know what? That's pretty much, I was going to add on to that because you know what? We went up there. Okay. Seven Springs. We went up there on Saturday, this past Saturday. Boyce Park. We went up there, I think the weekend before, but regardless, we went up to Boyce Park and then Seven Springs. And there was so much of a difference. And it's exactly what you're saying, JJ. You know what? And it was during one of those weekends where we had, a ton of snow. It was, snowing constantly for like 24 hours, from Friday to Saturday. So we had a lot of snow at Boyce Park, but I don't know what it is about the conditions itself. It's just Boyce is not a great place to go to. And I know this is a Seven Springs episode here, but it's weird. And the reason why I wanted to say this is because when we went to Boyce, I was having a real hard time falling a lot. Couldn't even do any jumps or anything like that. We went to Seven Springs the weekend after. And it was like, I didn't. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sean White over here. How could I jump my skateboard?
I was just about to say, like, when you said I kept falling, I was like, join the club.
I got to punch the snow.
I just got it just so jealous that you could actually jump on your snowboard. So
all that is. Let me take that a step back here because you know what? When I say that I can do a jump, I'm talking like
ollie.
Pretty much. Like you see a little puppy dog.
His name's Andy.
What?
I said his name's Andy.
I thought this episode was called Seven Springs, not look how big my snowboarding skills are.
I hate you both so much. So much. You are both the worst kind of people.
But I totally see your point, man. I totally see. I think
it's just what I'm trying to say, and like I know that I was rambling there, but what I'm trying to say is, we went to Boyce Park. I had a bunch of problems there. Then we went to Seven Springs, and it was amazing. It was perfect conditions. If you're looking to get into snowboarding or skiing, go to Boyce Park to practice. But Seven Springs is going to be the place you're going to want to go. That's the moral of my story.
Oh, yeah. I hear you. Okay, so when I was looking up, obviously we're going to start with winter time because it is winter right now. So I live, obviously, from this podcast, currently live in Indianapolis. When you guys got hit with the giant snowstorm who live in Pittsburgh, there was a giant hole over Indianapolis where there was no snow. So I haven't seen more than an inch of snow yet.
You lucky bastard.
Jerk. I had to take that little piece of shit car I have through that snowstorm while you're like, oh, there's no snow and I have a Jeep. What a shame.
But so we are going to start with winter. So it is always wild to me, being a paranoid person when driving in the snow, that when there is a giant snowstorm, people are like, you know what a great place to drive to is? In the mountains where there's more snow and more car accidents. It it always blows my mind. But I mean, whatever. If that's their thing, that's their thing. But so starting at winter time, what makes this place different from like Boyce Park or Hidden Valley, which is the one 23 minutes away, which I have it on Google Maps, and just everything like that, because they do snow tubing and skiing and everything too at Seven Springs, I assume.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I think the biggest difference from Seven Springs and Boyce Park and Hidden Valley and all that stuff is that Hidden Valley, Boyce Park, forgive me, I know that there's Laurel Highlands. I've never been to that one, but they are all sort of one day things where they have their slopes and everything. They have their main lodge and everything, but they don't have any overnight accommodations, if that makes sense. What I'm trying to say here is like you'll go up to Hidden Valley or Boyce Park for the day and then you're going home. Seven Springs, you can go up there and spend a weekend. You can go up there Friday after work and spend the night, Friday night and Saturday night, and make a weekend out of it, or even make it a week.
Sorry, that blew my mind. So I was like doing research, and the only times I really been to like Seven Springs / Hidden Valley, the one time I was a wedding rehearsal person.
Oh, I remember those days.
So I did a wedding rehearsal thing at Hidden Valley, and I wasn't very good at it. But still, it was beautiful. But like my mind was blown because there's like, wedding venues, obviously, bowling, and like, how big is Seven Springs? When I think of Seven Springs, I only think there's the cabin. It's huge. I think of just there's a cabin and there's a hill. That's all I think of. But there has to be more than that.
Oh, there is so much more. If you think about, Andy, I know that we're not talking about summertime, but have you ever gone to the very, very top of... Yeah, you did, because we were there together with the family over the summertime. There is that pond where you can go ice skating in the winter. There's that whole top of the...
I don't think I knew that you could do ice skating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can ice skate up there.
Really? Hold on, Lake Tahoe.
Is that what it's called?
That's what it's called, Lake Tahoe. You can ice skate up there?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
There's that, and there's the bowling alley inside of the cabin. There's they have a ton of stuff in that cabin. Like it's just endless how much stuff, and they usually have festivals every season going on there as well.
Yeah, you know what they do, and I'm happy you brought up the thing about the festivals. I want to save that for whenever we get into the summer part. But yeah, they have a ton of festivals that we went up there for. Definitely really cool. But I mean, yeah, it's everything you were saying. I mean, they have a bunch of restaurants in there, a couple bars. I mean, who could forget the Foggy Goggle? I mean, that place is absolutely amazing.
The Foggy Goggle.
The Foggy Goggle. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is a place. I researched that. It's supposed to be like a nightclub or something.
Use the word nightclub loosely. It's more like a bar. Like if it's Tequila Cowboy in Pittsburgh, but very less crazy.
So it's just like everyone's so hot in there, it fogs up your goggles.
Ooh.
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe I should do the advertising. Just like, I don't know.
You know what? Wait, before I forget about this. Yes, they do have the Foggy Goggle, but inside the Foggy Goggle, they added, and I think this is, they added this like 2 years ago, so it's pretty new. They added axe throwing in there, which is really, really cool. Yeah, exactly. Because think of it, let me explain it to you this way, okay? The axe throwing that they have up at the Foggy Goggle, right? Your normal axe throwing that you would think of is going to be, you have an axe and you're throwing it at a board that has like a bullseye and all that fun stuff, which is, understandable. The Foggy Goggle has a projector in each lane that projects onto a piece of wood, and that is your target board. Okay, so like you can, it has like games you can play, like me and my friends play tic-tac-toe and Connect Four and all this fun stuff, and I don't know. It's just really, really cool. It's a little expensive, but it's really cool because it has all these neat little features that you can use when you're axe throwing. So it's really cool.
I'm looking at the photos now, and it does look pretty cool.
I'm doing the same thing.
I just don't know when axe throwing became like a popular thing. Like, it seems so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, if you mix alcohol and throwing axes, I mean, does it get much better than
JJ,
that?
I was thinking the same thing. You know, when this first became popular, like I agree with you, Chris. Like I don't know when this exactly became popular, axe throwing, but I heard the very next thing I heard after that was that you combine axe throwing with alcohol, and I was like, that is a recipe for disaster.
And also, the place that you're throwing it is called Foggy Goggles, which is something that disrupts your viewing with axe throwing combined.
even more understandable. Yep, absolutely. It's super weird. So,
Yeah,
but
they
no,
got-
I mean, yeah, they got their axe throwing. Yeah, like you said, JJ, they got a bowling alley. Did you guys know they have mini golf as well?
No, what?
They got mini golf.
Yeah, they got
indoors.
They got too much. Like,
Well, I mean, everything. Yeah. I guess if you think of it like, I know, Chris, you've never been on one before, but like if you think of a cruise ship, there is like so much to do for each part of the family, kids, adults, whatever. And that's what Seven Springs is trying to be. They want to be like that one-stop shop where every part of the family gets to have fun.
Exactly.
And they rock it. They are doing such a good job.
Yeah.
have you guys seen? I'm on the website. They have roller skating.
Oh my God.
I don't
What?
think I did know that. They have roller skating.
Yes, here's the order of everything: indoor pool, hot tubs, bowling, miniature golf, the Bear Trap Fun Zone game room,
Oh yeah.
and roller skating. Now, Andy, answer this question for me. How much time have you spent at the Bear Trap Fun Zone game room?
I have so many tokens.
Do you like, are your friends
50
all
more and I'll
snowboarding
buy the
and
teddy bear.
are your friends snowboarding and you're just like, fuck off, I need to play skee-ball?
I'm gonna get that Power Rangers ring.
No, it wouldn't even be Power Rangers. It'd be off-branded. It'd be like Ranger Power.
I'm gonna get the colored ninjas.
Strength ninjas or whatever. No, honestly, to answer your question, no, it's something more for little kids. Yeah, you gotta go in there to like buy your ticket or whatever to go mini golfing. Like my friends and I do that.
And
What?
and what's wrong with that?
Yeah,
you're just like that stuff's for babies, and then you just end up like you're playing Mario Kart or something. You're like, wee.
It's more for like kids. So I haven't really spent a whole lot of time in there, but I mean, yeah, they still got, like you said, JJ, they got a lot of stuff to do up there. So it's really cool.
Is this all in one building? Like,
Yep.
No,
all of this stuff?
No, it's not.
It's no. Foggy Goggles in a separate one. Axe Throwing's in another one. Well,
What?
in the Foggy Goggle too? Mini golf and bowling and the arcade and the restaurants and the bar. They're all in the same building. But I mean, they got like another store that's in it. You know, like you could buy like snowboard stuff. Like that's in another. You know,
Are they
building.
all within walking distance, or do you have to like
Absolutely.
go? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, that was maybe dramatic for me to say. Like it's like you walk outside 10 steps later, you're at the Foggy Goggle, but they are still different buildings. Yeah.
So when it's snowing like hell outside, you can't just drag your car through the snow and just get to the next place?
Oh no, you could walk.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
I guess you don't. Or can I ride on the back of Iceberg the Penguin as he goes down a hill?
He's going down on his stomach.
Oh my God. I have a story to get us into the ski slopes, and you guys know how much I enjoy telling you personal stories that I've kept bottled up for years and years.
Well, you just came from therapy, so I assume
I did.
That's how we tap your brain. We just get you right after therapy.
Shout out Tara for just ripping my brain. But so one of the first times I ever went snowboarding, I thought to myself, hey, I don't need to wear snow pants. I'm going to be really good at this. I'm just going to wear 2 pairs of jeans.
God.
Oh.
It was like, if you guys ever watched the movie Just Friends, where the guy's like, he wears jeans when he skis. That was me snowboarding that day.
Well, what do you wear?
Snow pants.
You gotta wear snow pants.
I don't own a pair of snow pants. I feel like
Well, go buy some.
they're kind of weird looking.
But they keep you dry. That's all that matters.
But it takes me back to like when I was a child and I looked like the person from like A Christmas Story, and I'm like, I can't put my arms down. Like that's what I feel like when I wear snow pants.
I don't care if they're pink with leopard spots on them. You want to stay dry, don't you?
So here's what I would wear the 2 times I went snowboarding. I wore a long time ago, JJ. We have the same mother, of course.
Yes. Last time I checked.
She bought us these jeans that had like fleece lining on the inside.
Oh, yes.
And to be completely honest, that was perfect for me.
That kept the boys nice and toasty.
They kept everything nice and toasty. So I never owned snow pants when I went snowboarding. I just used those.
Yeah. Chris, you wore those, which were like, snow pants. I wore 2 pair of jeans.
How do you do that?
Because I'm an ass.
Like, were they the same size?
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like that'd be so hard to try to get like one pair of jeans into another,
Did you just not button the outside one and just
No. So you know how I've always had I've had a pretty nice sized gut for most of my life. So I never wear my pants on my belly button because my gut kind of dunlops over, and So poor Matt, our cousin Matt, was trying to show me how to snowboard, and we get to the top of the hill and we're on the ski lift. We go to get off, and I fall flat on my face 4 times.
Was this
Like
this at Boys Park or Seven Springs?
This was Seven Springs.
Okay.
I don't think it was the very first time I went snowboarding, but it was definitely one of the first times.
Okay.
So I was like, I know what I'm doing. I got this. I still fell right on my face getting off the ski lift. And do you have that issue, or is it just me? Because it is straight ice getting off that ski lift.
No, it's horrible. I did the same thing. I would fall right on my face, and then I would punch that ice.
You know what? The hard thing about getting and you know what? That's the thing I hate the most about snowboarding is getting off the ski lift, because for those that are skiers and not really snowboarders, and JJ, I know that you can, you definitely agree with me when we say this, that in order to move on a snowboard, when you're not going down a hill, like if you're moving like on a level area, or if you're getting on a ski lift or something like that, you take one of your feet out of the bindings off the board, and they make this little patch that you can put on your board. It's like a little
felt patch.
Yeah, it's a plastic little thing that you just put your foot on. It helps you, sort of steer your board until you're able to get clear of the lift, and you can sit down and put your foot back into the binding. Chris, what are you smiling about?
It just sounds like so terrifying. I'm having flashbacks to the time, like just sitting on the ski lift and being like, this is the easy part.
The joke's on you.
And then just like you fall when you get off, and then like the person behind you is just like, remember when the person you fell snowboarding one time, JJ?
Yeah.
And the person snowboard past you and called you yard sale?
That's what I was getting to. That's the part of my. I'll just get to it real quickly because you brought it up.
Go ahead.
I'm going down the hill. I got my jeans on, and I fell over once, and Matt helped me back up, and my whole fucking ass hung out of my pants, and I could see it in his face, like, oh, good Lord, I cannot believe that I'm doing this with this kid. And I got up, and he pushed me, and I started going again. And I'm like, I got it. I'm picking up speed. I'm going so fast. And I tumbled, man. I mean, I went head first, like hat, gloves, a jacket I was wearing, one of my jeans. It just went boom, flying. And all I hear from the ski lift, oh, yard sale. And I looked up and went, shut up, man.
Before you went down, did you say, hi, I'm JJ Speranza, and this is called the ski slope? Meow, 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 meow.
Jackass.
No, I wish I would have. That would have made a better story.
This is called the yard sale.
So that was my.
Oh my God.
Man,
Love it.
that kid yelling yard sale still. That's one of those memories of like, if I can go back in time and rethink what I said back to him instead of shut up, man.
But I just think about that. Just like I would fall, and then the person behind me would like either fall to or snowboard around me until there was a giant clutter of humans just at the top of the hill.
I wasn't gonna say this, but I guess I should. When we went there on,
I told an embarrassing story. You better tell one too.
all right, I got one then. And this is going in line with what we're talking about right now. I mean, we went to Seven Springs this past weekend. We were getting off the main lift, and the patch that JJ, you and I were talking about came off my board on like the first day that we were snowboarding. So I haven't had a chance to get to. Oh yeah, it makes it so much more difficult to not have your foot outside that binding. But the patch came off the first day that we were snowboarding, so I haven't had a chance to get to Dunham's or Dick's Sporting Goods or anything like that to get another patch. But so I've just been sort of winging it whenever I take my foot out. And again, when you're on these lifts, I face my left foot goes first down the slope. Okay, so with that said, I take the right foot out, and you sort of push yourself along the snow to make yourself move on a flat, level surface. Okay.
Do you shake it all about?
Yes, I do.
As one does.
Well, regardless, I still have a hard time moving. Or no, I should rephrase that. I still have a hard time getting off these lifts whenever my foot is still out, because like there's not a whole lot you can do. So we were getting off this lift, and I was like doing really good. I was like, all right, like I'm slowing down, like we're coming to a stop. Everything's gonna be okay. I must have hit like a glove that was laying on the ground or something like that, and I spun out. I fell over, and I took out an old lady that was just standing there on a pair of skis. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she was like, "It's okay, it's okay." Like she was fine, but she was like shocked. I was like, I feel like an ass right now.
How most people die. I hear it's usually during like snowboarding and skiing thing. You might have given her like head trauma.
Yeah,
she might be dead now.
She's probably shocked, man. She was like, "You're a skinny white dude with hair. How are you falling?"
Why are you boarding like such a yard sale right now?
Oh God. Yard sale is when you start losing your hat and gloves and stuff like that. Just so the listeners know, in case you don't snowboard.
Can I be honest?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I was just saying it.
Yeah, that's why they called me yard sale, because I lost all my clothing pretty much going down the hill.
You know what? That makes it even funnier. Like you going down the hill like Squidward in that episode. Just like,
oh, my back.
And then Andy, when he said I spun out, I just thought of Mario Kart, just like,
you hit a banana peel.
And the banana peel is the old lady. Dude, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks.
I felt terrible.
Princess Peach? More like Bruised Peach. Shit. I'm sorry. So you killed an old lady, yes.
Yes, that's what I did. That's what happened.
So,
and if her name was Lorraine, it'd be a double whammy.
Oh my God. Rest in peace, Grandma.
Mm-hmm. So
Indeed.
If you don't mind me transitioning this from winter to summer, I would like to stay on like the ski lift thing, so I could tell a quick story about a documentary I watched.
Okay.
I mean, we're not really doing summer right now, but it's your life, brother.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of having a good time, talking about winter stuff, but I mean, hey, whatever.
I mean, do whatever you want, I guess. It's your podcast.
Are we doing winter and summer in the same podcast, or are we staying winter in this podcast and then summer?
I mean, this is your world, so, whatever.
Oh, my God.
Andy had said at the beginning of this one that we're gonna do winter now and then summer at a different podcast. But I mean, if you have a story,
No,
feel
I
free
mean,
to
all
share it.
joking aside, like if we want to, like if we have enough stories and enough stuff to talk about just for winter, I mean, we could divide it up into 2 episodes if you guys want.
I would say so. Yeah, we're about a half an hour in. But you know what? This is just a story in general. So,
Okay.
Andy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, JJ. How are you?
I'm doing good. I like your shirt, dude.
Thanks, man. I gotta say this real quick. I know we just interrupted you, but I gotta say this really quickly. I gotta say this. I am wearing. I know.
His face.
Chris is so pissed off.
I'm just drinking my beer. That's all I'm doing.
Wait, you can tell your story, but because JJ mentioned my shirt, I gotta say this real quick. I am wearing a shirt right now that has a little microphone and it says, "Ask me about my podcast." I got to give a quick shout out to my cousin Kim. She got this for me for a Secret Santa. My family, my mom's side of the family did Secret Santa, and she had me, and she got me this cool little shirt as a little bonus. It's black and gold for Pittsburgh colors. So shout out to Kim. This was a great shirt. I'm happy to be wearing it right now. Okay, Chris.
Yeah, Kimmy.
Now you can tell your story.
Cool. Fun story, Andy.
It's Kimberly.
But have you guys ever watch this when you have a chance? Go on HBO Max and look up this thing called Action. What's it called? It's about a place called Action Park.
Oh yeah.
So what happened was they had an alpine slide, so that's why I was thinking about like summertime and ski lifts. So this park was very disastrous. So they had an alpine slide there too, and you would take a ski lift to get to the top. And in the documentary, they talked about how the thing that you would ride down on the alpine slide, they would try and like drop their scooter onto like people that were going down the alpine.
What?
It was so disastrous.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but we're not talking about summertime, guys. We're just talking about winter. That is all.
Was it Chris? Was it you that got the concussion snowboarding, or was that somebody else?
That was our sister Christy.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I knew someone lost their interest in snowboarding after they got concussed. Our brother Nick. So on Christopher and I's family side, like not Andy's family, yes, but as far as like siblings go,
you're really you're really Andy's family, I guess, but you know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Drew's family, yes.
There you go.
I'm like Vin Diesel. Everyone's my family.
Oh my God. Oh, never mind. I won't tell that joke. So I'm the oldest. Chris is the second oldest. Then there's Nick and Christy. And Chris and I, we both tried to get into snowboarding at the same time. I, for some reason, have more balance than Chris. I don't know how it's possible because I'm like 100 pounds heavier than him. But
hey,
Nick,
you give yourself too much negative stuff on your body. You have a sexy body now. You gotta give yourself some positivity.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate
You are looking
that.
fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Is it the goatee?
You're looking.
Oh my God. Chris and I, we went probably like 4 or 5 times together, and just like it took us a while to get it snowboarding. Our brother Nick, like, looked at a snowboard. He just looked at it and went, "Okay, I got it."
Well, you were talking about balance. He's like 6'4". He's like a needle.
He's 6'4" and about 60 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah, but Nick picked it up right away. He was just like going right down, and he's like going past me as I'm trying to have a boxing match with snow. And
Bro, he didn't even do the bunny hill. He just went straight to the top and went, "I got this," and just went. It was like, no.
And you know what? I can
Nick,
totally believe that too, because Nick is the kind of person that, his personality is just like, Nick, solve cancer right now. And he'd be like, all right, give me 5 minutes. And he'll have it solved. He'll have a cure to cancer.
I just put these things together.
So this is actually off topic of everything. So, have you watched the post-COVID South Park episode?
No, I need to watch it though.
Apparently the cure to COVID is Tegrity weed.
Oh my God.
And I watched a news article that was just like weed could possibly solve like the COVID.
Yes. Wasn't it beer and weed or something like that?
And that's what it made me think of. Like Nick would just be like, Oh, you can try smoking weed. I'll get rid of your cancer.
That'll help you. That'll teach you how to snowboard.
Oh man.
I love Nick
All
so
you gotta do
much.
is smoke weed, cure your COVID, and go snowboarding. That's how you fix everything. But yeah, Nick, he just picks up on everything away.
He's so naturally gifted with his skills, and he has absolutely no interest in any of it. He's just like this natural freak at sports, and he's just like, nah, it's okay, I guess. He's like, no, dude, you're amazing. He's like, that's all right.
So mom ended up buying. I think she tried buying all of us snowboards because she found like one interest that she thought that we all had at once, and I straight up was like, I fucking hate this. I do not like snowboarding right away.
Do you also not like golfing?
No, I don't like golfing. And
okay.
Once again, that's another sport where I can just sit down and just drink beer the whole time.
Looking at you, Drew. Looking at you, brother.
You and me, man. When summertime rolls around, we're gonna
man.
The links.
No,
better believe it.
I'll say this: we should do Top Golf because I like driving golf balls. I like it when there's not like not like the smallest target in the world. I would definitely do a driving range or Top Golf.
Okay, seeing as Kistler's is closed now.
That's true. You know what, Chris? Honestly, like if drinking while other people are golfing is something that you want to do, like we could all go golfing, and you could just be you could just drive the golf cart.
What?
Yeah, we'll put you in one golf cart, and Andy and I will be in the other.
You want me to drink beer and drive the golf cart?
I didn't say get wasted.
This is Chris. This stunt is called drinking while driving.
Oh my god! Write this down, Chris. We need to do a golf course stories podcast episode.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I can't forget about the time I drove off of something and broke a bench.
Or how about when I hit the ball like 500 yards and hit a pole in the middle of a field?
No, you didn't.
I love it.
Andy was there. Andy knows.
Was that your bachelor party?
No, it was just Matt and I golfing, I think.
I don't think I do remember that.
He told you the story.
I have to give a shout out to Matt, our cousin, real quickly.
Yeah.
He has been a person where you were probably snowboarding and he told you, calm down, you'll figure it out. I would play basketball at Andy's house for Easter because we'd have a big family basketball game. And I would freak out because I was like, I'm good at basketball, goddammit. And he was just like, dude, we're just having fun. Like, calm down. Matt has been the one, honestly, he's been our therapist.
He's the angriest man alive, but he just knows. He just knows just what to say.
Mm-hmm.
He has taught me how to golf, and he and I went golfing a couple times, and he's definitely given me some pointers. And
did he really not tell you that story?
Matt?
About what?
About me hitting the pole in the middle of the field?
But did the ball ricochet and hit you back?
It was 500 yards away. No.
See, that's why he didn't tell me, because if it would have hit you in the face, it would have been funnier.
He just told me the one story about how when he and Brian were golfing, I don't know, Matt had a really good shot and Brian was like a hole ahead of him, I guess. I guess they were, playing with a couple groups or whatever. Brian was ahead of him and it landed like right by his feet and Matt didn't yell for. And he was like super excited that he had like a really good shot, but Brian was pissed because he didn't yell something like to, make sure he got out of the way. So he took his club and hit the ball back to Matt.
Oh, no.
I was like, that's amazing.
Oh my God. Oh man, we're getting way off topic.
We are getting way off topic. Back to Seven Springs here.
Let's hit the ball back to Seven Springs.
Let's hit the ball back to Seven Springs. You know what? I have a good little piece of information that I'm sure you guys know, but one of my favorite things about snowboarding, or I guess even in the summertime, but I mean, I like doing it during snowboarding. There's one trail that they have that if you're at the very top of the mountain of Seven Springs, if you go all the way to the left, this is going to sound really weird, but they have a trail called Lost Girl Trail. Okay. It's really,
yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, good.
I know. Yeah, I do.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I don't, but please keep going.
That's okay. What?
JJ, you've been very excited this entire episode.
I love snowboarding in Seven Springs. I just haven't been able to afford it for years. So
It's all like flashbacks to you. You have wet dreams about snowboarding again.
I'm living my snowboarding life vicariously through Andy right now.
Did you know that when you were on this trail, Lost Girl Trail, Lost Trail, I don't know, it's something like that. You can see downtown Pittsburgh from the top of Seven Springs.
Yep.
Did you guys know that? You could
I remember seeing the.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
On a clear day, I don't know if I'm lagging. If I am, I'm sorry. On a clear day, whether it's in the winter or summertime, I especially like it in the wintertime because you're riding down the hill. But on a clear day, you can see the top of the UPMC building and the top of the BN White Melon building from Seven Springs.
Mm-hmm.
That's so wild.
It is.
Like,
I remember seeing it, man.
Legit, like, I had to be, for work, I had to be, like, near Chicago for, like, the last 2 days in a row. And where I was driving, I was, like, kind of by, like, Gary, Indiana. And what happened was, like, it was, like, the same thing. I must have been, like, a couple whatever miles away, and I could still see, like, the city skyline to Chicago. Like, I could see, like, the Sears building. Like,
yeah. It's really,
I love city
it's really
skylines.
cool, you know? Yeah, especially you could see it from, you know, especially since Pittsburgh's an hour away from Seven Springs. I actually have a picture on my phone of that. Maybe I can send that to you guys and we could put that on our social medias, you know?
Oh, man. So I had a picture, and Andy, I don't know if you remember this. There was a picture of us. We had a family vacation in the summertime to Seven Springs, and it was all of us on the ski lift. I remember on that ski lift looking out and seeing the top of those buildings,
right where the skyline meets the horizon. That's you could see the two tall buildings of Pittsburgh. So, and
I recently changed, not recently, but when I changed phones to iPhone from, you know, whatever I had back then, I lost those pictures. But there was a picture of all of us on the ski lift, and it was all the cousins, and it was. I'll never forget that, man. It was so mind-boggling to see Pittsburgh.
Very fun trip there.
Yes,
we'll definitely have to tell that story, you know, when we're doing the summer, because we did go in the summer, right?
Yeah, we went in the summer.
Yeah, you just went into summer just now on this winter podcast.
Oh boy.
So what are some other summertime things you guys like to do? No, I'm kidding.
We're talking about winter. Let's just stick with winter.
One of my favorite summer things. Sorry. One of my favorite winter things is rollerblading.
Oh my god.
All right, so I'm looking at a map real quickly, and I'm finally seeing how big this place actually is. So it looks like there's a main lodge down low, and there's something called like the Sporting Clays Lodge and Grill, like on the top of the hill.
Yep. Yeah, that's so the very top.
That's
of
a
the
sucky
hill.
commute.
Yeah, it's kind of weird getting up there. It's like you got to like go like 10 minutes out of the way, but it's so they have a little housing plan up there, if you will. They have really nice houses up there. Behind all of that, they have this restaurant that you're talking about, but it's also like a gun range as well.
Cool. Put the gun range on the top of the mountain where you can see everybody. And downtown Pittsburgh.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, I what else?
Yes, Andy. Yes, please keep going.
I was waiting for the anticipate. Anticipating.
I don't know. I was just like I'm just trying to recap all of my winter experiences up there. I mean, it's definitely
leaving us in anticipation.
So I am looking at this one thing. There's this thing called Park and Pipes. So it's kind of like an X Games kind of thing.
Sounds like a parking lot for high schoolers.
Did you do that?
I am not too familiar with that, but if I were to take a guess, it's more along the lines of like a terrain park where they have like half pipes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, you were jumping while let me.
Oh no.
Yeah, Sean White. Oh, you're thinking. He's thinking. Sorry.
Look at him. He's deep in thought.
Yeah, we don't like.
Oh, no!
It's still recording. We're still fine. He'll come back on.
Okay.
We did lose Andy for a second, but JJ, I'm glad you got to live out the memories of snowboarding through Andy.
And that's unfortunately the only downside about snowboarding. I'm sure you can attest to this too. Ski lift tickets are like $80 for a day.
That was going to be my next question for him, like how much money it costs. But like,
dude, it's so expensive.
But of course, like if you have your own equipment, obviously for anything in general, just like, it's instantly cheaper. And, yeah, Andy's texting us right now. Keep talking if you're recording. But, we're pretty close to wrapping it up anyway, since Andy was starting to get befuddled with everything.
That's it, dude. It's the only bad part is it's so expensive, especially if you don't own your own board. You have to rent bindings, you have to rent the board, you have to rent like all this stuff, and you're looking at $120.
Well, did you have anything else to add, or I don't know? I don't really have anything.
No, I'm good. This was a really fun episode to relive all this stuff again. It was fun.
Awesome. Well, if you want to hear more stories about Seven Springs or whatever about Pittsburgh, you can follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Boys in the Berg. Or you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And so I'll go ahead and let JJ sign us off, as always.
Always a pleasure, never business.
Hey, goodbye.